Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.
Please do. We could use your help right now. We really could. We really could. I get calls and email, well, not really calls, because please don't call my phone. I don't like pride phone calls. So you can email me or you can text me, and then we'll have a conversation that way and determine if we need to have a phone call. I still have severe trauma and anxiety from things in life, and I'm living those things every day when I am advocating for homeless veterans. So for you to call me and just start talking about don't do that. No. So I have a way that we communicate. If you don't know who I am, my name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, Realtor, homeless veterans housing strategist, and professional services in the GovCon space. I'm also on the executive director board of the Elite SDVOB of Illinois. SDVOB stands for Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business, and that is a federal certification, and I am one of the executive directors on that board for Illinois. I'm also the subject matter expert and writer for Mission Roll Call for veterans homelessness and housing strategies. I just added that one because that's what it is. You know, people think housing homeless veterans is a secret. It's not a secret. It's just a process. And if you know the process in housing homeless veterans, then you can house homeless veterans. I mean, I've housed homeless veterans from homelessness who lived in U-Haul facilities, and now they're living in condominiums overlooking the Chicago Navy Pier and the fireworks for the 4th of July and every Saturday night downtown Chicago. Yeah, he tells me all of that and goes on the balcony and creates videos to show. He was in a U-Haul facility. Housed a homeless family who lived in an abandoned home, in an abandoned house. You know, so these are just a couple stories. Homeless CEO veteran who was displaced, and I housed her 2 times within the first month and then the second month. Nobody talks to homeless veterans this way. And I'm sure you don't either, because if you did, you would be housing them. But nobody talks to homeless veterans because you think homeless veterans they don't have anything. They're not worthy of a conversation. I get it though. Nobody want to talk to homeless people. You drive up to one and you don't even look at them. You're at a stoplight and you can't even look at them. You look down at them. Homeless people don't want to be homeless, especially not a homeless veteran with all of these resources and benefits we have in our community. I am an Illinois realtor, and I have been housing homeless veterans and getting commissions over 22 years. Homeless veterans is profitable business. But don't nobody want to take time to learn. It's all right though, because I wrote the books. Go to my bio and get some books. I have a very private group. It's very private. Everybody can't be in my group because everybody is not going to listen and take action. You want to come there and just ask questions that are in the book. And I'm going to call you, listen, go read the book. And then we can have an intellectual conversation, a strategic conversation on how you're going to operate in your city. You see these pegs up here, in your city and your state. You take control of where you are. So when I invite you to my group, based on you buying some books and reading some books and coming with that knowledge and then building upon that knowledge, is when we can have a conversation. I don't want to hear how long you've been housing people. I don't want to hear how many properties you have. I don't care. Because if you knew how to house homeless veterans, you wouldn't be calling me or texting or emailing me telling me that. You want the information that I have. So you go get some books and you start reading those books. And my email address is in every single one of my books hold on, I'll show you. Right here on the copyright notice page, you'll find my email address. So don't email me if you don't have a book. You email me and you take a picture of like yourself like this and real nice. You got 2 books. You're going to take both books, real nice, and you're going to send me that picture. And that's how I know you have invested in yourself to learn what you want from me when you call my phone. Hey, thanks for joining my club. Hey, Jose. So that's how we roll over here. I have been housing homeless veterans for so long, getting so many awards and accolades and praises, but not once did anybody sit down and say, hey, Yvette, how are you doing that? How are you achieving so much success? How are you making money housing homeless veterans as a realtor? I give y'all a true story. Glad to see you too. Tell you a true story. This just happened to me yesterday. I had a young lady send me a message in one of the DMs to tell me that she has a unit available and that she knows I work with homeless veterans, and she wanted to see if I could refer one to her unit. I said, wow, okay, you're the owner. Yeah, we established that. What's the commission? Oh, she said the commission. I thought this was not for profit. I said, ma'am, I am a realtor. And you're offering a property that you want to make money on. You're going to pay your realtor. She said, oh, I'm a realtor too. Okay, what's the commission? I don't work for free, for nothing. So I sent her the book, The Realtor's Blueprints, A Realtor's Blueprint, The Veteran's Path to Home, Navigating the journey from homelessness to home ownership. I have made a very good living housing homeless veterans. I raised two children as a single mom, housing homeless veterans. I housed myself first out of homelessness. And I've taken myself, I was in a transitional unit, transitional housing. I was a first time renter, first time homeowner, first time investor, and first time business owner. I'm like, oh, that can be done with other veterans. So when I became a realtor and I stumbled upon this community for real, because I didn't know there were other homeless veterans, and I just stumbled upon this community. And I'm like, I know what to do with all of y'all. Whatever stage of the game you're in, we just have to find those key players in. And the key players started, come on, I got some units over here, I got some units over there, I got some units everywhere. Well, that is wonderful, Mr. Investor, because I've got veterans over here, over there, and everywhere. That's what I teach realtors how to do. Investors and now operators, of those who say, I want to, hey Tarita, I had on my powder last night. It smells so good. Yeah, I stayed up smelling myself. I did. I couldn't even go to sleep right away. And it was after 2 a.m. But anywho, back to what I was saying. I forgot what I was saying now, Tarita. I don't know, but I just know that what I do is duplicatable. It is work. Oh yeah, for those who say they want to house homeless veterans and they want to be the operator of the facility that they are running. So I wrote this book. This is a guide to veteran shared living models. This one came out #1 on the Amazon new release in US military veterans history, and that is on the book. So when you get it, it'll be on there. And again, when you get the books, take a picture holding the books up, smiling, and I need your name, I need your city, your state, your phone number, and if you're ever in the military, your military affiliations, because some people just love the military, family members, spouses, whoever might have been in the military or still are, and you just, love military people, you love veterans. So you like to help. We want to know where you are, what part of the country you're in. So here, this is January. So we don't have any new states since December. We're in 37. I want to count it for real today. I remember we were in 37, so now I think we're in 38 states. And these are people. When I first started the map, I got to clean this camera. When I first started the map, the pegs were of homeless veterans. Because I was at the VA, I was at the Vet Center in 2025, early part, all of 24 and going back into 25. I think I did something in 20. I know I did something in 22. That was the Women Veterans Resource Fair. We had like 250 women veterans come in from everywhere. It was phenomenal. Oh, my sister's keeper. Here it is right here. I had to get my butt up. I was getting over COVID and a stroke. So I'm like, we got to get together, y'all. We have to see what's in the community now that COVID is over. We got to get together. So this was my brainchild. And I'm like, and that's me. Yes, I put myself on the cover. I am a female veteran. And this was 2022 Women Veterans Conference and Resource Fair. And we collaborated with the Chicago Heights Vet Center at the time. And these are the women who sent their pictures in, who attended the resource fair. It was phenomenal. It was really the first one time, because I got a lot of flack behind this resource fair. I got a flack. I'm like, you know what? I did what I did. I had a band, a DJ. They were pumping it up. It was a party. It was a celebration. We are back. God didn't keep us. I know he didn't keep me when I had that near-death experience in the hospital when I was there with COVID. So live. It was a celebration of life. I got a lot of flack over that. Oh, the music was too loud. I've never seen a resource fair like this before. You've never seen a celebration of life before. So that was my sister's keeper. 2022 Women Veterans Conference and Resource Fair. This is when we had an organization. And my baby, I'm not gonna say that because it's time to move on. But this was my not-for-profit organization that I started, 100 Pretty Purses for Female Veterans. And 2024, we celebrated 10 years of honoring women veterans in the Chicagoland area with a huge holiday celebration, just loving on them with gifts and purses filled with everything, and blankets and coats and shoes and everything that the community and stores and businesses would donate. We would package it up so nice, and they would be so happy. They would leave there with shopping carts full of gifts. Here's one of them right here. This right here, this little purse has 6 or 7 different sizes to it. And the company that donated this, there were about 70,000 pieces. I still have a few boxes left in my basement. It was probably about 20 different designs, brand new. And the ladies they just felt it was beautiful. Hold on a second. Let me see. I remember that fair. Oh, yeah, that was real nice. Girl, they were talking about me so bad. So many resources. Yeah. No, I'm not with VRAP anymore. Do you help with vets? No, I don't do anything with CDLs. Most companies provide a room and food for 3 weeks with paid training. I work with veterans housing, period, from homeless to home ownership to becoming an investor and business owner. That's what my company does, VetMentors LLC. And I also teach through education. I have an educational publication book series. And in this book series, my book series is the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Guidebook Series. And all of my books in my bio. Over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook is in the comments section. So I pinned my bookstore in the comments section. So if you want to learn to do what I've done over the past 22 plus years, housing homeless veterans as a business, I filed a 1099. My company gives me a 1099, Real People Realty. I'm also a housing strategist and GovCon expert, subject matter expert in veterans homelessness and housing. I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans and got commissions. And I teach realtors how to do the same through education and through my private group. My group is not open to the public. We meet face to face, live on Zoom. And when we get up to the point, we'll meet face to face in any city that VetMentors is in. VetMentors is in about 38 cities now. I'm going to count. As a matter of fact, we're on live. Hey, I can get up. I can move around. Let's count how many cities we're in. How many states? Okay. Okay, let me see. Where am I going to start? I'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so not 38. So we're in 29 states. That's still impressive because I was just in one, not even the whole state. I was just by myself in Chicago at the VA and the vet centers and the city colleges of Chicago and Cook County Corrections and the Metropolitan Bureau of Prisons and some municipalities. So now I'm in 20. The VetMentors is in 29 states. So if you ever said you want to, and I invite you to go get some books. Go get some books. I created a whole library for you to start learning. Go get some books. Let me know you got them. Take a picture, smiling with the book. You can go get one of my daily notebooks. But don't get a daily notebook because you ain't learning nothing. This is where you put your daily notes. You have to read the words on the page. So, hey, Cody. Cody said, thanks. You're welcome. What are you thanking me for? Thank you. What? Let me see who's here. If you can, drop in your state and let's see if you are if you're up here. Let's drop in your state where you are hailing from. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Powerful message for anyone serving veterans community, U.S. Thank you. So what state are you all in? Is anybody here to tell me what state you are in? Come on, let's see. Oh, so I got a referral. This is the part I really, really, really dislike. Virginia. We got Virginia. 2 Virginias. Oh, Pennsylvania. Hold on. Hey, Robin. Okay, we have Virginia, Pennsylvania. And where else? Let me see. Why did I put Hyde? Oh, that's Robin in Pennsylvania. We have Palio in Virginia. And then over here, we have another Virginia on TikTok. I know we have in Illinois. Thanks for those roses. So imagine this. And this is a true story. I got this referral. Today is Monday. What's today? I don't even know. I don't even know what today is. Oh, let me see. I know it's just January 5th. I should start writing in my book what's today. Thank you, Jose. So today is Monday. So I got this referral over the weekend. Saturday, maybe Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. But the referral was who contacted me? Oh no, the veteran contacted me and said he was referred to me by somebody else. Because I'm like, who referred you? Okay, so and this is the weekend in Chicago, and it's like 10 with the -2. It's just cold. I hated being homeless in the cold. That's the worst. Ugh. That's the worst, let me tell you. So he called. I didn't talk to him. He text and email back and forth. And he said he's a homeless veteran and he has a job. He's making over $20 an hour, and it's still not enough for. Oh God, Jesus! It's not enough for a rental, and he can't get approved for a rental um, in the normal in the normal rental space with the management company or with the realtor. You forget about it. And his friend loaned him a car, and that's what he sleeps in. I'm like, well, why did you can't sleep in your friend's place? But that's not. Oh, that's I guess that's what he was able to do for whatever reason. So I said, okay, let me get you everything. Let me deploy all of these resources to you and send over the referral letters to all of the agencies that I'm sending over to you and any other ones that I could find that, that may not be on that list. So I did that. And today is Monday. Thank you, Jose. So I got some emails back from one agency and said, oh, we don't service Chicago. Why does it have to be Chicago? Why does it, if wherever you service, why can't he go there? What channel are you using, Yvette? I want to promote you. On YouTube, Vet Mentors Homeless Veterans USA. Thank you for that. And so, and I know that agency, and I know that social worker too. But this is how this is what I tell you all the time. Social workers will do the only thing they know how to do. Not reach out and say, okay, well, he's in Chicago. Could he possibly want to go to wherever else that we service? You don't think like that. You think just what's in front of you on this intake. Then I got another email from another organization to tell me that, oh, and the veteran was on the email too. I emailed him to let him know that he's exhausted all of the use of SSVF. Okay, I understand that you have your based on your grant, um, and this is the continuum of care, and it just added up. So tell me this, because we're not going to stop there. We're not. What about your other resources that you have received in grants and then the per diems over there? Not the SSVF, but the grants and per diem. Do you have any more transitional men's homes that you house these veterans through their transition? And if so, do you have any beds available that he can go to? And if not, that same funding that you would have your facility, Can't you use that for another provider's facility? This is how you connect all the money. This is how you connect all the money. But if you just let them stop right there, then they're going to be like, well, okay, bye. But they don't think outside those lines of intake form. Whatever's on that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that they're filling out, that's all they're doing. So that's why it's important that advocates learn. That's why I wrote those books. And I say a lot of stuff in those books repetitive because I want you to get it. It's too much money in this homeless veterans community to have homeless veterans because social workers and case managers don't know, or they just don't go outside the box. So when you know where the money is and how it's all connected, then you can help service that need. You can be a very, very profitable and powerful provider in your community. So the veteran is still homeless, and I'm just waiting for the email responses from these two organizations that were so gracious enough to respond back. Because some of them don't even respond back. They're like, psh, we don't do that. At least old girl responded back and said, we don't service Chicago, but here are 3 other agencies that do. And I'm like, okay, I know them, and I know them. So I emailed them all. She sent the phone numbers as if, no, I'm going to email them. I have all of their email addresses. 2 of them responded so far. Oh, whew. Where do you begin, you might ask? Where do you begin in all of this? So, I am working with the coach, and he's stretching me to do other things that will help to streamline the things I'm already doing. And is more work on me learning all that new process while I'm still working to build the veterans, the Vet Mentors Homeless Housing Advocacy Group in 29 states so far. So what I did this morning, well, not just this morning, about 2:00 in the morning, I put together an invitation for my private group members. How do you get into my private group? Thanks for asking. Go buy a book. Go buy a book. That's how you get in. Buy some education, and then I invite you to my private group. So this Saturday, that I have it for this Saturday from 10 until noon. So you all will be receiving an invitation for Saturday. For this is private members only. If you want to become a private member, then buy a book and let me know you have that book, and you will be invited to engage more. I was on somebody's YouTube today, and he does government contracting, and I wrote down a few notes of a $1 billion in payments to some organization, but it's the government spending for contract work within the government. And that's what veterans housing is. The way I teach you, the way my partners teach, we teach you housing with government funds. Now, some people will say, "Oh, Yvette, I got somebody." Oh my God, it was so funny. He emailed me and said, "Yvette, I want to do um, veterans housing and I need the grants." I'm like, okay, what? You don't just, I just start jumping double dutch. Yeah, so those expectations there, they are not correct. It's a lot of learning. And I would suggest anybody who is interested, get my books. That's a really, really good starting point. And then when it's time for you to join and become a member, become a member. Because I don't just have casual conversations about this very intense and delicate work. You're working with homeless veterans who need your help, and not just to help them get in a bed. Now, this young man, he would be a perfect candidate for transitional housing, for those who say, okay, I can do transitional housing. And if they don't have funding from a governmental agency, is okay because my bed rate is $750. Well, he could afford $750. He has a master's degree. Something I wrote it down in something because I wanted to talk about it. At a, get this, at a housing um, facility for emancipated youth of 18 to 25. I'm like, isn't that something? That's where I got my start in homeless housing, housing emancipated youth. So he works there. Pardon me. And he needs transitional housing because he can't afford, nor will he get approved for traditional rentals. So we need all types of housing in our community. But how do you just start housing veterans and with the anticipation of working with governmental agencies to pay? You have to learn. And that's what this dude was saying um, on his podcast here on YouTube before I got on to do this one. He said the process of working with this government war department, the DCMA, it's a government war department. It's the war department of the government. He said it's not a secret. It's a process. The information is out here. It's not a secret anymore. Not with me. I mean, it used to be a secret, and I didn't think it was a secret because wasn't nobody asking, Yvette, how do you house homeless veterans? All of my investors, they were very, very happy that I was housing homeless veterans in their units. But nobody said, Yvette, how do you house homeless veterans? How do you take a veteran through transition? How do you plan veteran villages the way you do? How do you structure facilities to meet the needs of organizations that receive the funding to pay for veterans? How do you do that? Don't anybody ever ask that? They never ask. Well, they probably didn't know to ask all those questions, but nobody ever, even the real estate board. Hold on, here's my award. I have a nice shiny award from Main Street Organization of Realtors, a nice shiny award from the President's Award from 2025, because I house homeless veterans. But nobody ever said, "Hey, Vet, I know you're a realtor and you are a licensed instructor. Can you teach our realtors how to house homeless veterans in the class that you wrote and got approved to teach and the book too?" But we've got all of these realtors walking around in all of these states with no clue on that they could save a homeless veteran's life. They have no clue. None. These investors have no clue. These city officials, no clue. These townships, no clue. But everybody knows we have homeless veterans, but no clue. I'm like, well, damn. So when this dude who did the podcast today, he said it's not a secret, it's a process. I wrote that down. I said, you're exactly right. It's not a secret anymore. It's never a secret. It's just the willingness that you have to want to learn. And I can't tell you everything over a public site like this. This is caring for people, not just the homeless veterans. You'll be caring for me too by buying my books and learning and coming into the classes when they're set up. Oh, it will blow your mind. When I tell people, just in conversation, when I talk to my sister, I had another call this past weekend of a member in our group. And I can get to talking when I'm talking about homeless veterans and strategies and solutions. And he said, Yvette, I could listen to you all day. I'm like, I'm sure you can. But, it's been 2 hours. I got to go. Because it's just, it flows. It flows. You give me any veteran in any situation. And as long as I can make those connections with the right people, that veteran is housed. But it's the lack of education in our communities amongst our realtors and our investors, our social workers, our human care professionals, our case managers, our first responders. All you have to do is ask the question that's in this book, Finding Home. This was the second book I wrote in this series of U.S. military veterans, not homeless housing, U.S. military veterans educational and resources guidebook series. The first one I wrote in this series was to social workers. Social workers need to get beyond that intake form and look right outside those straight lines to what else can I do for you right now? Are you just going to tell a veteran, oh, we can't help you? We can't help you either. And that's what continues to happen because nobody's connecting the dots. I can sit here all day and listen. Let me put this on the Robin said, I can sit here all day and listen. It's very interesting. It really is, Robin. And we'll get to see each other hopefully this Saturday. The real estate blueprint approach is very eye-opening. Yes, because it is real estate. As a realtor, our responsibility is moving the world. That's our responsibility as a realtor. And realtors don't get a chance to do that if they don't know how. And I don't know how to do all aspects of real estate. If you say that I want to buy that 10 acres of land over there, well, now, okay, I can go to the MRED and go to, is it MRED? Go to .loop and go and look at the disclosures for the land and learn it. But then I need to take a class. I need to take a couple classes because I've never sold 10 acres of land before. I want to buy this, I don't know, what else is in real estate? This industrial park. That's not my type of real estate. I was interviewing how much is cost to start up out of pocket? I don't know what you're talking about. Out of, I don't know, to start up what? Answer that. So I was interviewing realtors when I was we went to Illinois State. Um, what was it? We were lobby. It was lobby day for realtors. You know, talking to these politicians, said, "Hey, we really need you to vote yes on this. You see, it's highlighted in yellow. It's circled. It has an arrow. The lights are blinking. This is what we need you to vote yes to. Nothing else, because this will benefit our real estate community. Don't vote for that because that's going to increase something that's not going to be good for our buyers or sellers or homeowners. But do this over here so that everybody involved can be affected positively." So we went out there doing that. And I was sitting there amongst thousands of realtors in this event, because we had breakfast before, and this was Illinois Association of Realtors, because all realtors from all over Illinois Association of Realtors event, and I was just sitting there boiling. I mean, I just wanted to run up and grab that microphone and just simply say, "Hey, good morning. I have one question question to ask, and I don't want everybody to rush, but it's real simple." I said, "If you have ever housed homeless veterans, I want you to walk to the front." That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. If you've ever housed a homeless veteran, come to the front. It's like thousands of them in that room. But it wasn't my stage. So I'm like, I still have an opportunity. They were all walking. We walked out and we were going to our next, wherever we were going to, the wind down. So it was time to eat and have some cocktails and talk and network and get to know other realtors from all over Illinois, that sort of thing. So I'm just standing there looking at all these realtors. Nice sunny day. I took out my phone and I said, "Hey," I said, "how you doing?" "Good. Hey, let me ask you a question." I said, "It's not a trick question, realtor to realtor. I said, do you know how to house a homeless veteran?" They're like, "What? That's a thing?" And no, I don't. I took a video. I want to show y'all the video before we get off. And I kept asking. That was one location. I went to another location. We were standing in line to use the ladies, the potty. And so they couldn't go anywhere. They were just lined up to go to the bathroom. So I got my phone out. I said, "Hey, I want everybody to hear this question. So when I get to you, you won't be surprised, but I want you to answer truthfully." They said, "Okay." So the first person, I said, "Have you ever housed a home?" No, I'm going to play it because I forgot. Hold on. "Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?" I believe that's the question. Let me play the video for you because my rendition is not the same. Wait a minute. Let me turn TikTok around so they can see it too. Hey, TikTok, how y'all doing? Flip camera.
A lot of
All right, here we
realtors
go.
are walking this way, and I'm just going to ask if they know how to house homeless veterans. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
No.
No.
Okay.
I sadly do not.
I do not, but I would love to learn.
I do not. I do not, but I would like to know how. The answer to that is no.
No. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?
He's a veteran and he would be
Come
homeless
here.
if I did not house.
Oh, look at
Okay. We're here at the Capitol, Illinois State Capitol. This is the lobby day for realtors. And I did make an announcement on the bus about my 3-hour course that I wrote to teach realtors how to work effectively with a homeless veteran. Just because the veteran is homeless doesn't mean they don't have resources to use to get housed or to get anything else they need, because they do. But how do you get to those resources to help that homeless veteran get housed? I've got the class and it'll be out soon.
Well, the class was out. I got the class licensed. I got the book approved by the IDFPR. And I said, okay, let's create a schedule. Oh, we can't do that now. I'm like, oh, what? You got to pay money to have these classes licensed. I'm like, anyway, I'm like, oh, another door closed. So let me see. 3 doors were closed last year. Let me think about all 3. Um, the VA, I'm like, oh, you're firing a volunteer. Ooh, so the VA, the vet centers, and then something happened with city colleges. Oh, he took a leave of absence, FMLA, for almost 2 years. So that's 3. And I'm like, what? I mean, everything just changed all of a sudden. And while I'm just sitting around, I'm on TikTok, and I'm like, I know there must be some veterans out there who need help. Because going to these agencies and these organizations conducting um, my live workshops, that's where all of my veterans came from. Every veteran, I didn't have to go out and do too much of anything because they all came to the workshops that I took my team every month to conduct. At one point, we were going every week to a different vet center, like 2, 3 years in a row. We were, because there was so many veterans. Oh my God. Let me show y'all some pictures I think I have some pictures of the room where we were. This was just one of them. I just grabbed some pictures real quick and put them in the book. Yep. So this one though, I really like this picture. This was the kickoff to 2024. This picture right here on top. So that was my team. So everybody, every type of professional you could mention was there on my team. So whenever I call them or schedule them to come and present, they would be ready because now they see the landscape of that location and where it is. So I'll call the lender and say, okay, we're having our workshop on this day, so block your calendar out. The attorney, if she could make it, if not, another attorney, because they need to know the legal aspects of home ownership. Because even though, the workshop is open for all veterans in housing crises. Hold on. In housing crises, or they're not in a crisis. They got money, they've got the credit, and they just want to find someplace to live, learn how to use their resources and use their benefits. Then you have agencies that will come because the agencies also service veterans from their location, like the Department of who came? That was Cook County. They came back, and you had the other agencies like Thresholds and Catholic Charities, the Lighthouse for the Blind. You might say, why would they come? Well, duh. You've got veterans who are visually impaired. And so organizations like that would come to my workshops, and then they would say, okay, can you bring your team to our location? So now we done picked up another location because these veterans are not only being seen by the VA. They're not. They're not. There's so many organizations that have received funding that need help. They have pain, and we call it pain points. And how can we relieve your pain point as a government contractor or as a housing provider. These organizations, they have to do their own marketing. They have to find these veterans in order for them to use the funding that they received from the government. It's like, if you use it, you can keep it. If you don't use it, you lose it. So they should be, and I say this all the time, they should be in the community. I know there are some cities that have they have a one call center, and then that one call center, they'll just shoot veterans here and there everywhere. But there's flaws to that system, because when you call, they don't know what to do. They may put you in the system, but how long are you going to be in that system before you get a phone call? So the deployments of resources are not fast enough for homeless veterans. And that's where advocates and housing providers come into play. They got the money. You just have to know where it is, where to go get it, and who the operators are and how to connect with them. It's a lot of work. So don't come in here thinking that you're gonna. Oh, I'm just gonna have a bed, and I'm gonna have 8 beds, and of the veterans, and it's independent. They can come and go as they want to. They just got to pay me, and I'll see them on the 1st. I mean, we call that money grab. If that's what you want to do, then I'm not your girl for that. Because I really think that that is not the right way to go with veterans. And I'll tell you why. And I'm not putting anybody down on their housing practices. Nobody. You make your money, and you're housing people. So if it works for you, it works for them, then you're fine. But for me, and how I educate my advocates and providers, is to make this a whole person again. Make this veteran a whole person. Because a veteran is just down. That's it. All of them don't want to be down, and all of them don't have to be down. They don't. The ones who don't want to be down, then those are the ones you help to pull up in your programs, not just your bed. Alexa, resume play. I knew I didn't hear any sweet melodies in my ear. Like this young man who's he is homeless in his friend's car in Chicago, and it's like 10 degrees out. Some things I shouldn't even say, because every time I do, it just brings back those memories. Feel like I'm being punched in the gut. But for him, all we need is a veteran shared living model that takes men who can self-pay right now until we find his resources. And what do I mean by finding his resources? Well, in your program that you set up, you make sure you have a roadmap to veterans finding their resources and being able to access those resources. Is very similar to this book right here. One moment, please. The 3rd edition Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. In this book, let me see. It shows you what a veteran needs in order to buy a house. However, it also shows you the benefits that the veteran needs in order to buy a house and not just the VA loan. So get that book and follow those instructions, because when you have a veteran in your veteran shared living model, and young guy like this guy, he looks like he's in his 20s, because I want to see everybody I'm working with. I want to know everybody I'm working with. That's just me. I don't want any strangers in my group. Then no, I need to know you are an, your integrity is high. Um, you're not just doing this for the money. You're gonna make the money, so don't even worry about that. But just don't let that be your main concern, because now you're not even looking at the person. When you're looking at the person, I mean, you're gonna achieve so much more in your own life. It just feels good to me personally. Oh, let me read y'all a letter. I really like this letter that Jim wrote. Jim is one of my investors who I've been working with. He wrote this letter in 2012. This is Main Street. Oh, this letter is also in this book, The Social Workers and Case Managers book, Collaborative Housing Solutions for Homeless Veterans. So Jim said on August 24th, 2012, to whom it may concern, I am writing regarding Yvette Jones and Miss Jones Real Estate Broker Services. I am a realtor. I'm a broker associate now. I have known and worked with Miss Jones for over 2 years, since 2010. I got a story about him when I'm done reading. It was a good one. During this time, Miss Jones has established a very successful business relationship with our firm. She not only has rented many of our 400 apartments, but she has done so in an extremely professional and friendly manner. We have come to consider Miss Jones a business partner, a colleague, and a friend. Miss Jones is a unique rental agent and broker in that she is able to successfully represent property owners, tenant applicants, and property buyers in a way that everyone benefits. She has an incredible big heart, but also a nose for business, which is a rare and valuable combination. We believe that because Miss Jones is such a genuine person, she has an endless stream of contacts that significantly benefit her business partners. If you would like to discuss how Miss Jones has helped our firm, please do not hesitate to call. And if you want to call him, go get the book, read the letter, and call Jim. He's still in business today. So when I first met Jim, ooh, let me see. Who introduced me to Jim? Oh, that doesn't matter. But I gave Jim a phone call at about 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, we're wound down. Because I know how it is in real estate, and I know his office closed at 5 o'clock. So he was off work. I stopped working at 5 o'clock because I would work from 9 to 5, talking to people, but I would do paperwork in the evening, or I would do a craft if it was at night in the wintertime, like I do now. This is one of the ties that I crafted myself. So I called him and I introduced myself. And he said, oh, okay. And he had babies in the background crying. And I just told him, I said, hey, I saw your portfolio, and I know what it's all about. You got studios, 1, 2s, and 2-bedroom units, and we could really use those in the veterans community, and you would get guaranteed rents. And I'm not doing that. I know I'm not doing that. I'm not getting into that, no government red tape. And he was just going, oh, I'm just listening like, oh, this man has no clue. I'm just listening so patient because when something is wrong and you can't say nothing because it's their mindset. I'm not. I know how it's working over here. You don't know how it's working. So he just kept going. I'm like, oh, okay, well, hey, thank you so much for the conversation. And if you ever change your mind, then just give me a call. You know where my office is. My office then was on 87th and Jeffrey in Chicago in an old doctor's office building. It was so tiny. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So I get another phone call from Jim, and he said, I don't know, for some reason, whatever he said, let's meet. I'm like, okay, fine. I said, I have a meeting, and before my meeting, you and I can meet. This is where I'm meeting, and meet me over here. We're in Hyde Park in an old restaurant that sold the most delicious fried green tomatoes. Oh, they were so, so good. So he and I were talking, and I had my information and showed him all the units that we had successfully rented and all the units that we have on our books, and really the cash flow. That's what investors want to see, the cash flow. He was like, oh. And then not soon after, my appointment walked in because we were exchanging leases for checks. And I said, hey, have a seat, Miss Anna Hosa. This is Mr. Williams. And I said, oh, Mr. Williams, I said, turn around. And I had him turn around. I said, do you see that big building right there? That building belongs to Mr. Anna Hosa and his mom. That building had like an elevator in it. And it went up like 12 floors. And it had like, I don't even know how many hundreds of apartments. And Jim's eyes got big, and he was like, what? I said, yeah, Miss Anna Host is one of my clients. And they not only have that property, but they also have several others. I said, okay, so thank you, Mr. Anna Host. I'll see you next time. Just, send me over your vacancy list. And Jim said, look, where do I sign? So I started serving him back in 2010, and it's been wonderful. He thanked me profusely when I sat him down, and I said, let me say something to you. I said, you are a great guy. I really enjoy working with you and your partners. One of his partners, oh, he was such a wonderful man. And I cried like a baby when Jim told me what happened to him. He was such a great guy. Oh. And his third partner, and he and I still work together. I have a unit of his. He said, if I don't even rush it, he said, I already know whoever you bring me will be here 10 years, just like the other ones. I'm like, okay, good. So it's been that way. It's been that way. So I told Jim, I said, we're going to have to, I said, you have a lot. I said, you've got a lot of places. Can't you do some 1031 exchanges and get rid of these and look at this map and buy in these, look in these communities right here to purchase in, because they're going to bring you a higher return and, easier access to renters, because your places, they're playing out. They are playing out. Don't nobody want to come to them anymore. So when he changed that, he said, Yvette, you changed the whole landscape of my company. I said, I already know, because you went from $600 let me see, 600, maybe $600 one bedrooms back in the day to now a $1,200 one bedroom. What? Yeah, it's location. So that's what I teach in my group as well for HUD Fash. So let me see. I've been on for 1 hour and 9 minutes over here on LinkedIn and YouTube and my real estate Facebook. I want to thank you all for joining me again tonight. I am going to skedaddle. Let me see. Hold on. Let me show this on here. Great content, great cause, great people. Thank you so much. What's one action viewers can take? Oh, thanks for that. Go to the library and buy some books and start educating yourself and let me know you got them so that I can invite you to my private group to learn more. The real estate blueprint approach. Veterans have to move somewhere. What? That's really all it is. It's housing veterans in your real estate. And I teach you how to take them from homeless through their transition in your real estate, through their rentals in your real estate, through their home ownership in your real estate. Could be through their investment properties, through your real estate. So that's it. That's another conversation for another day. I can go deep into that. Oh, real good. But I'm glad you all are here to listen and to learn. Ciao for now.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.